What's up guys, it's Dags and welcome to one of my videos. So today we've got Matt with us, who has over the weekend was playing his Fluffals deck at one of our local events. After 5 rounds he come first place, X1, so only one loss throughout the whole event. And obviously Fluffals is not exactly one of the meta contenders that you would expect or anything like that, so it's quite interesting that he went 5 rounds only dropping one match and yeah, securing first place. So yeah, congratulations on that, Matt. First off. No worries. But yeah, so really, I'll let it go over to you because I'm not a massive, I'm not exactly a brain box on Fluffals myself. So yeah, I'll let you do the explaining on that.
Okay, thank you very much. So Fluffals, as I said in a stream a while back, are gonna be good, and I proved it.
Yeah.
And I did play some meta matchups. We'll get to that later, though. So playing definitely. 3 Fluffal Dog is the Stratos of the deck, so you want to play 3 Penguin. Some play 2. I think 3 is correct. It helps you get into Bahamut Shark quicker, and it's just the fact you can draw deeper into your deck. The discards are good as well when you've got things like Toy Vendors, discard chains, etc. 2 Dolphin, brand new card from the most recent set. Very strong. It lets you recycle your Toy Vendors and then send a Fluffal like Rings, for example, straight to the graveyard. And then they've also got the fact that you can recycle your polymerizations and your Fright Fusion. And it's also a level 4 water, so Bahamut Shark for Toad access. 2 Bear, you don't need any more than that, I think. You're not often using the Toy Vendor ability now, so you're drawing it or sending it goods, and recycling body is sometimes nice. 2 Rings, just don't want to brick on it, but it's very strong, so that's your draw engine. 1 Sheep via link plays. Mostly you just want to get into Dagda quickly, and Sheep helps you do that, highly searchable, and lets you recycle your Fluffals from the field. And then the 1 copy of Owl, there's a bit of debate between 1 Cat, 1 Owl, which one's better with the Fluffal groups. I prefer Owl because it's just better as a starter card, gets you polymerization, and then lets you kind of actually play, whereas Cat's more of an extender.
Nice.
So yeah, although going forward I probably would play a Cat because mid-game is very handy to let you get a bit of power behind your pushes.
Okay.
Next up, so we've got Edging cards. So previously obviously we played the free Chain, which gets you any of your Fight First spell cards, and we played them on Sabres because it's very searchable. They are bolstered by probably one of the best cards in that new set for us, which is Edging Scythe. It basically means we can fuse in our opponent's turn, and Cruel Well means that we can just pop something. It's very powerful, even when you're not doing the Artifact Scythe combo. This card itself is just, for the disruption it causes, is outstanding, and it also protects your Fight for Fusions while it's in the graveyard. So it's a very handy card. Definitely get 3 of them in that deck.
Yeah, great addition.
Spells, oh yeah, 100%. So that's the monsters. So you can see 22 there.
Scythe,
for the spells. Yep. Oh yeah, and then the one Artifact Scythe.
Well, the 4 Scythes.
The
4 Scythes.
The 4 Scythes.
Yep.
So for the spells, we play 2 Foolish Burial Goods. We're playing 3 Toy Vendor. So Foolish Burial Goods is basically Rota in this deck because you just send Toy Vendor, but it's also a double summon now thanks to one of the later cards. Toy Vendor's broken. You can just you can trigger it as many times as you want in your turn. Like even the Search Effect is one of the best spell cards that's been printed, I think, in the game, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I had consistency issues, so I'll probably bump the Foolish Burial Goods back up.
Okay.
Played 3 Droplets, so this is expensive Fluffals, but I wanted a defensive card that could, if I went second, that could take care of negates that are already on the board. And particularly when we got things like Chain, Toy Vendor, and Sabres, you've got lots of things that you don't want dumping to the graveyard that then plus off. So that was quite good.
Okay.
And then 3 Polymerization, standard.
Yep.
3 Fright for Patchwork, one of the best cards in the deck, just a straight +1.
Yep.
And then we played 1 Repair and 1 Fright for Fusion. Fright for Fusion is a Miracle Fusion, so you're gonna play it.
Yep.
Patchwork, I'd be fair, I very rarely use the first ability, which lets you summon, lets you recycle a Fright for Fusion in your graveyard, then summon a Fluffal or Edging monster from the graveyard to the field. More often, I'll just dump it with Goods or Toy Vendor or Cruel Well, and then use its graveyard effect to banish itself, and then summon an Edging or Fluffal from your hand.
Yep.
So it's kind of it's a bit of a double summon. It's like Spiral Mission.
That's what I was about to compare. Yeah, banished a special. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. But very strong card. Definitely play it. And then finally, 3 Impermanence. I wanted a hand trap in there.
Yep.
In case I obviously went second and had some interaction. Impermanence can't be hit by Gamma. It can't be hit by Called by the Grave. or Appaloosa or anything like that, so I think it'd be the best one. I kind of bricked a bit on the defensive cards though, and I had to cut some consistency that I'd been playing. I'd played a second Fight for Fusion as well beforehand to help with the grind game. So going forward, I probably would cut it. It wasn't all that impactful. I think if you're playing hand traps in this format, you need quite a few of them. Otherwise, it's better to focus on your own game plan and/or cards to just break balls like droplets.
Yeah. Okay.
So going to the extra deck. Don't know why they do that with random DB. Free Cruelwell, the card is insane. It's a level 9, so it can make True King Calamities. You can make it off Siphon, it just pops on its fusion summons, so you can pop 2 cards. And even if you don't have anything on your side of the field, say your opponent's gone first, turn 1, Siphon just protects the Cruelwell from itself. It can boost the attack of any of your fusion monsters by sending a Fight Fur from extra deck or deck to grave. It's definitely worth playing it free. It's very easy to make. It's a very strong
Brilliant
card.
addition to the deck, isn't it?
I've played, all right, excellent. I'll be honest, I underestimated it at first, but I am happy I'm playing 3 copies.
Oh,
should not have been a common, should have been higher.
I agree as well, yeah.
Should have been
it's disrespectful.
Should have been a super.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. Much like Roland.
Exactly, yeah.
And then next up, 2 Sabertooth. I think I very rarely use 2 copies. I only ever used the 1, but I liked having 2 because some of the turn 1 combos you can like end on Scythe with Scythe on field, Scythe in hand, a Toad and a Appaloosa, and you often need Sabertooth for that to loop your fusions. And it's also the fact it's a monster reborn for any of your Fight for Fusions in the graveyard, so it keeps those Fight for Fusions kind of live when they're in your grave.
Yeah, they can be utilised, they're not just dead. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 1 Kraken, down from 2 because we haven't got the space for 2 anymore.
Yep.
2 very rarely came up, and it particularly in the current game, you just need the 1. And a lot of time I'd just make it send something or attack twice, put it in defense mode, and just like my opponent had no resources and they couldn't out 3k defense the monster.
Yeah.
And then you kill them with that. 1 Tiger, actually you have to play it just cleans up. I know some people have been cutting it going first. Keep it in because you stun them going first, and then going second, use Tiger to clear up what they've put on the board, and then you hit them for a lot of damage.
Yeah, he's your cleanup.
Yeah, exactly. He's the cleanup group.
Yeah.
Wolf is to clean up for the life points. I think I only summoned him once all tournament, and I've been talking about taking him out before I summoned him, but he won me that game. I think at the moment with their space, it's worth playing because you can just fight for fusion and hit for a lot of damage.
Yeah.
So, but it's probably the least important Fluffal out. Whenever I got Maximus, that's the thing I sent because I just didn't care.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Exceeds, True King Calamities, Bahamut Shark, and Toad. The 8s. None of the 8s are worth running. I don't think any of the other 4s are worth running right now because you're just going to get, if you're making a 4, you're probably making your Bahamut Shark to get the negate of Toad. I know you can send Toad as well when you get Maximus, but I never wanted to because I can't chain block it from the Mikada, so I didn't want to lose to Toad. Toad was quite strong as well, stronger than I thought it would be, so that was good.
Toad's really, really good, yeah.
Toad is a lot better than I thought it was. Came in clutch. And then the last four cards, I summoned all of these.
Yep.
Cross Sheep, it's a fusion deck. You play Cross Sheep. Dagda, so it's part of the first turn play. It's very easy to make. You can literally make it with 2 cards.
Yep.
And then you don't even need to trigger it in your turn because you can just trigger it, train it to fight for Cruelwell when you summon that in your opponent's turn, and then you just set the Scythe because Cruelwell doesn't target, and then it pops the Scythe straight away.
That's nice. Yeah.
So then you just lock your opponent out the extra deck. It's a nice interaction. I prefer doing it in my turn because it means I don't care if I get the Viren or anything, but it's a very, very, very strong card. And even if, here's the other thing as well, even if you milled a Scythe off a toy vendor, still make the Dagda, you just pop the Dagda with Cruelwell and it summons Scythe back. So it's a very, very strong card.
Yeah, that's pretty spicy. Yep.
Yeah. Final 2 cards, so 2 Link 4s, access code, just can take out anything.
Yep.
This probably underperformed the most. I've already swapped it for a Unicorn.
Yep.
And then Appaloosa, which is just very strong. Sometimes if you go Dagda, you can extend a bit more and end on Appaloosa, and a couple times I ended on Appaloosa and Scythe, for example, and it's very tough for your opponent to get past that.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So then going on to the side deck.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Pancratops going second. Just it's Pancratops.
Yep, great card. So why wouldn't you?
Free out. Yeah, exactly. Free Ogre. We've got a lot of combo decks. We've also got Unhealthy like for New One and Gene Raider, our locals.
Yeah.
So I feel I need Ogre.
Yeah, it outs like field spells and things like that. It removes problems. Yeah. It removes the problem.
Yeah, exactly. And another card that removes the problem is Gamma. So I play the Gamma package. Obviously, this is the best hand trap if you're going second, so you need to play it somewhere. Free Cosmic Cyclone. I felt I was going through enough resources anyway normally, and there's not like even the big back row decks. You just need to take key cards from it, and then you can use Tiger to clear up the rest of the back row. So I was happy enough with free Cosmic as opposed to Twin Twister. Reboot as well helps with the back row decks, and then free Judgment for when I knew I was going first, because you can set up a Calamities and they can droplets you or something.
It's just a big
Most
no
people aren't
card.
dropping a trap for droplets. Yeah, exactly, big no.
Yeah, big no.
And I think someone tried to summon the access code talker in one of my games, and I just literally flipped it and said no.
Yeah, that's decent. Yeah, you to stop the summon and just get that problem. Yeah, it hasn't even hit the field. End of. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. It's definitely obviously something definitely to look at to going forward, implementing the Scythe, the Whale, and you've shown that it's performed. So what were your matchups through the rounds?
So I had we had a smaller tournament, 17 people, and most people, a few of the people going a bit as you yourself did, with more fun decks or side decks like Megalith and Fluffals. So my first match was against Gaia. Of all things, which I'm sorry to the guy who plays it. I still don't know what the deck does.
It's interesting.
I 2-0'd that. He never got going, but I 2-0'd that. Then had Unchained, 2-0'd that. Then it's when I started hitting all the meta decks. So then I had Mech Invoke, which I 2-0'd.
Nice. Very nice.
That was when the access code thing came up. I then had Invoke Dragma, which I also 2-0'd. But I will say that in the second game, no, both games even, he opened double Invocation.
Wow.
So he took what happened to me last week, and doubled it. And then the last round was Dragma Invoke. That's the one I lost. And it was my turn to brick. I just bricked on Edgings and Polys both games, and I just got beaten down by Massacre, basically.
I mean, but even still though, the deck performed well overall though, right? I mean, even though you played the earlier rounds, I mean, but like any locals, you'll play like a little bit more rogue and less known, less as meta decks. But the deck, I mean, how overall did you think the deck performed, regardless of the matchups that you might have had in the earlier rounds?
So I was happy enough with the deck. It's the thing that I was kind of expecting going in was I'd be making Dagda combo all the time or Calamities combo all the time, because they're very easy 2-card combos to make, provided you get a Scythe or a Chain or something. And I'd made them quite a bit. But the thing I was most impressed about the deck was actually its resilience. It was able to kind of put up a bit of trouble to begin with. And oftentimes I wasn't kind of like just stopping my home and OTKing, but rather grinding them down, hitting them with big monsters, and just taking away the advantage, which the deck did really well. The issues I found, though, was sometimes the deck can run out of steam, particularly if you go too far into your earlier combos.
Hence why
it's a combo deck. You need Frightful Fusion, bumping it back up to 2, because then you can use your graveyard to push a play forward.
That's what I was going to lead into, because that's why you said hence why bumping up Frightful Fusion for the grind game. But you sent me an updated deck list as well of the things that you would change, so I'm going to put that on screen now. So I can see you've obviously bumped up the Frightful Fusion, you've added the cat as well, and at least there's a few things in the main deck. You bumped up Foolish Burial with goods, and then I can see you've also removed the access code and put in the Unicorn as well. Is there anything else I've missed in there from the changes? What I can see?
No, those were the only changes I was thinking of at the time, and that was just evaluated. Go on. I just felt the imperm bricked on it a bit, or that on the droplets, and a lot of the time, one hand trap against the vast majority decks does not do enough. Like even against Invoke variants, because if they're playing Dogmatic Invoke, sure, you stop the Alistair, but if they've got an Ecclesia or a Maximus, they still follow up play. So I felt it was better to let it condense down. If you've got the Scythe, you can interrupt them anyway, and then you've got the droplets just to hit wherever they've got on the board, and then you can push through. Is the general idea.
Well, thank you very much anyway, because it's definitely interesting. It's decent to see that an older deck that just gets a little bit of support, that it can play, it can compete. Even as you said, with the later rounds, Dogmatic are invoked, and it still be able to play through it all, and do it quite nicely as well. So yeah, that's awesome. So yeah, congratulations on winning that event. Yeah, so yeah, I'll finish it off. But yeah, by saying thank you very much for coming on and sharing this deck profile. I'm sure a lot of Fluffle players would be interested in seeing this to see that they're, you know, an actual deck profile from a live event, utilizing the new cards. So yeah, once again, mate, thank you very much for coming on. And
thanks for having me.
No worries, no worries. Any little shout outs or anything that you'd like to do?
Oh, just to crazy cards.
Yep.
Just the locals. You know, I think they've done really well reopening up the way they have. They've had lots of people coming down and just letting us get back to what you like doing.
Yeah.
So shout out to them and all my mates from there.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you very much, and yeah, thank you very much for watching the video. Then, guys, leave a like if you did like it. Subscribe for more. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.